Blessed risings, good afternoon or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that Keep It P podcast is a global show. And today, on this episode of Tether Talk, we will be discussing Kamala Harris announces her plan for Black men, legalize certain types of drug dealing. Oh, wow. Okay. We're for tangibles, but all this shows is a lack of how can I say it? You're not in touch, sis, with the community because you're not of the community. There it goes. I said it. Okay. I'm coming right down the middle. My intentions isn't to offend anybody, but if it does, sometimes if the shoe fits, then you put it on, and if it doesn't, then don't wear it. That's all. That's it. That's how simple that is. The media has come to the not inaccurate conclusion that poll numbers for Kamala Harris among minority voters are less than ideal. Are we talking about Black men? I thought we were talking about Black men. Okay. So really, the media has come to the not inaccurate conclusion that poll numbers for Kamala Harris among Black voters, particularly men, because that's who we're talking about, Black men, right? Why do we always go off on a tangent? Why are you talking about minority voters when in the title you're clearly referencing Black men and the plan that Kamala Harris has for them? So you're talking about Black men and certain types of drug dealing and legalization of such for Black men. Then why do you always go somewhere else? Why can't we get an article that's just for Black people? If it's for Black men, then it's about Black men. If you had an article about Hispanics, you would say Hispanics and you would talk about them, and that's it. You wouldn't start mentioning Black people. You wouldn't start mentioning Irish people. You wouldn't start mentioning British people. You would stay with Mexico or Hispanic or Latina or Latin or whatever you call it. You would stay with your chalupas. Man, we can't even get off the ground. You can't even get off the ground. Because as soon as you try to, there's some gibberish going on. So this is a white guy who wrote this article, and he's going to tell what Kamala Harris's plan for Black men is. And in his deduction, it's to allow us to be able to have certain type of dealings of drugs, and we will remain free, which, if you believe that, I have the Brooklyn Bridge that I would like to sell you for a competitive price. So this is C. Douglas Golden attempting to tell us what we need and how he's in touch with us and solidarity. The media has come to not inaccurate conclusion that poll numbers for Kamala Harris among minority voters are less than ideal. That isn't even an if anymore. The fact that former President Barack Obama is out on the trail lecturing the brothers. In quotations, the brothers, right, and not coming out to support Harris should be a tip-off that the internal polling machines, the external numbers, be a tip-off that the internal polling matches the external numbers. Even the New York Times ran a piece Sunday asking, why is Trump gaining with Black and Hispanic voters? I'll be doing that story. They gave 5 reasons, none of which are terribly insightful. Also, none of them were this, because part of Kamala Harris's economic plan to help the Black community is to make sure they have an equitable opportunity to be legal drug dealers. This is what he thinks. It was not written in quite that language, mind you. Like I said, this is his interpretation. But maybe the brothers, again, in quotations. So let me, the Mayo Mafia, is behind this article. So the male mafia. This is what the Neanderthal logic is on. Neanderthal logic is on full display here, people. It was not written in quite that language, mind you, it continues, but maybe the brothers have been paying more attention to how patronizing and unhelpful a Harris presidency would be for everyone involved than either former President Obama or the New York Times thinks. I thought we only think about ourselves. So if we were only thinking about ourselves, all of a sudden we do think about everybody. So you admit that as Black people, you know that we have empathy and we make our decisions for the good of everyone, even in spite of ourselves, even in front of our own needs. We will put the greater good in front of our own needs, especially for Mayo, Mommy, and Zaddy, but we won't do it for our own selves. We won't do it for self-preservation because we've been indoctrinated to believe that that's being selfish to have your own agenda. See? Oh, here we go. In a plan rolled out on Monday titled Opportunity Agenda for Black Men. Oh, here we go. Agenda. See, we can have our own agendas. See, why I'm surprised by that, you guys, is I don't read the articles first. I don't do a prep. I don't do an article investigation first. I see the article. If it intrigues me by said title, I go ahead and bring it to you. That's why I had to, right in front of you, I checked his file to see who wrote the article so I could let you know whose point of view, who's using the term brothers in quotation marks. Well, now you know it's the male mafia, specifically C. Douglas Golden. So she rolls out the plan. The plan is called Opportunity Agenda for Black Men. Harris' campaign said that in addition to race-based incentives that would provide $20,000 loans to forgive the debt of 1 million individuals and families in order to start a business. He already tried to hate race-based initiatives. The whole United States system of government, of justice, of healthcare is race-based. Leaning towards you, Mayo man. Yes, that's true. So your whole life is full of race-based initiatives, i.e., white privilege. Ha ha. See how you were able to break down the definition of that while trying to be so smart? You're trying to be a wisecracking a-hole, right? But in fact, you gave the definition of what white privilege is. White privilege is, in fact, race-based initiatives, fam. And really, it's incentives, fam. Race-based incentives. You receive incentives. You're trying to say that race-based initiatives is something big. No, you have race-based incentives. You are incentivized just from the color of your skin. Yes. I know you don't believe it, but you can drive down the street and when the police get behind you, your instinct is to go faster, even to wave at fam. And if he pulls you over, you're inside you. There's something inside you that won't allow you to adhere to authority. So you'll even cuss him out, F you, give me the ticket, rip it up in front of him. Only you. Only you. It continues. So there's a $20,000 loans to forgive the debt of 1 million individuals that would provide $20,000 loans to forgive the debt. See, you can't be forgiving a debt if you're giving loans. You're not even giving that would provide loans to forgive the debt How are you forgiving the debt with a loan? It's a loan. So you're going to give us the loan, then you're going to forgive the debt later? It don't even make sense. The president, 1 million individuals and families in order to start a business. The vice president would ensure that one of the businesses where black men would thrive would be in dealing pot. You don't want us getting in the pot business? Don't you know that whole, if you're going to make it sound so sinister and call it drug dealing, well, that's you guys, right? Isn't that your whole market? Isn't that $1 billion market full of what? People? What are you talking about? So then if she wants to give 20,000 funky dollars to get into the marijuana industry, you're going to now call it drug dealing? What about the pharmacies? What about the drug makers? Aren't that what they, I mean, isn't that what they're called? You don't call them medicine companies, do you? They're pharmaceutical companies, drug companies. But as soon as a brother can get an opportunity to get ahead, we have to sour. It continues. Among the 5 points of the plan, legalizing recreational marijuana and creating opportunities for Black Americans to succeed in this new industry. And I'm not saying this is just some grand old gesture or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or she needs to be heralded as some hero. No, this is a nothing burger. For the record, though. Kamala Harris just uploaded her 5-part path-breaking plan for Black men. It includes legalizing recreational marijuana, helping Black men invest in crypto, launching a national health equity initiative, loans, and training Black men to become teachers. Teachers, yeah, we need teachers to teach our scholars, but in our own communities. So we don't need you to make teachers to put us out into the jungle of Mayo savagery. We don't need that. We need our own schools and our own communities with our own funding. Right. All you got to do is cut the check. Reparations. If you do that, we'll be all right. And we'll be able to fund our own schools and get our own teachers. Oh, kind of like we did already. And you came and dropped bombs and burned down plenty of towns. Right. And then crypto. Why would you say crypto? It's not regulated. So then that just sounds like you're trying to give some. See, we gave you some money. Look what you did with it. You squandered it and wasted it. It continues, as we enact policies that lift Black men up, we must remove the barriers that have so often held them back. She will break down unjust legal barriers that hold back Black men and other Americans backed by legalizing marijuana nationally, working with Congress to ensure that the safe cultivation, distribution, and possession of recreational marijuana is the law of the land, the position paper read. She will also fight to ensure that as the national cannabis industry takes shape, Black men who have for years been over-policed for marijuana use are able to access wealth and jobs in this new market. After everybody already got the billions? How? In the saturated market where the stocks are even going down to pennies? How? When there's so much already gristle, there's so much marijuana that they're throwing it away in places like Portland, small places in Oregon, in Washington. Reporting on the new plan Monday, the New York Times quoted Harris on a podcast interview. Black men are no different from anybody else. They expect that you have to earn their vote. Well, if you know that, how come you ain't giving us nothing then? If you know that you have to earn our vote, then this is how you earn it, with some twerk for our vote? You thought Megan the Stallion tooting it up was going to be enough? Huh? Think about that. That's what she thought of you. And now I'm going to give you some weed and some booty. That's all you need, is some weed and some butt, and there you go. And I earned your vote. It continues. This apparently is her earning their vote. Picture this as an elevator pitch. Okay, so systematic racism has over-policed black men with illegal drug possession. So not only are we going to make it legal, we'll turn you into legal dealers. Bam, vote earned. No. That's not the... So then you would frown if we were put into the pharmaceutical corporations, if we were given funding to go into pharmaceuticals? Well, okay, let's go there. Are you going to say now they're legal drug dealers? See, you don't talk about them. That's my whole thing. While you're trying to cape for us, you appear to be caping for us, but you're not. With your brothers, with your condescending, like we don't know what that is. You know, Jamal. Pandering to people based solely on their identity, they just don't understand that isn't working. No, it will work if you give something that we want. Hello, it works very well. You know, Asians got their crime bill, you know, they supported and they got the bill, and yeah, right? There's just like 2 or 3 of them, right? Yeah, they made it happen. Right. It's funny how women say they didn't want the abortion to be banned, yet you voted for a man that you knew had a plan to do just that. See, people don't vote in their best interest. You will cut your nose to spite your face. And we know that how? Because you don't want reparations for black people. Because if you did that, we're the biggest shoppers, right? We're some of the biggest consumers. That wouldn't stimulate the economy? Of course it would, right? So that's how I know you're just hating. It's just hate. People are waking up to the fact that this paternalistic, condescending pandering like you with the brothers to people based on their skin color is racist at its core, and that the government doesn't listen. Don't forget about my man talking about black jobs. So shut up. That's why neither one of y'all, 2 wings, 1 bird, Republicans and the Democrats, are not our friends. We have no friends. We have no friends. Forget about the problems with recreational marijuana legalization, where it's been tried. Then forget about the issues with trying to disproportionately center the externalities of marijuana use in the black community by using dispensaries as a form of reparations. The people who brought you the infamous Man Enough ad are now trying to solve their campaign's electoral woes in the black community by telling them that not only can they smoke all the pot they want, they can be the dealers too, and it's all legal. Mind your business, fam. Worry about what they're pandering to you for. What is you getting for your vote? Don't worry about what I'm getting for mine. See, that's your problem. And you ain't really concerned, are you? Because you didn't go tell neither party what you're going to do for black people, since you're a champion for black causes and needs, and you understand the pulse of the community, which no, you sound just like Kamala. What is you talking about? No, I don't think so. They think that's racist. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't think it's racist at all. Cut that check, sir. It continues. Exactly how many metatic stereotypes, in other words, is the Kamala campaign willing to push in order to look cringeworthy and lose this election? you shouldn't be worried about it, right? You should be sis cool bombing it, right? You should be cheering for it, right? And this is all in the plan where one of the other 5 points is championing education, training, and mentorship programs that help Black men get good paying jobs in high demand industries, right? Like pushing us into the marijuana that's not a high demand industry any longer, where it's oversaturated, where the amount of money that you need for all the fees to get started, that little funky $20,000 you talking about, stop it, please, ma'am. And lead their communities, including pathways to become teachers. How do you? That's a high demand industry. That's a good paying job. What are you talking about? So Black men can become teachers who can legally get high off a product legally sold by Black men. That's our path to racial equity and equality through getting more teachers than making sure they can get baked. Does anyone behind this plan want to use their call a friend in the Black community lifeline on this one? Because I don't think their messaging is just a little off here. No, you're all y'all. Maybe you should have did their call a friend in the Black community lifeline. Maybe you should have did that one. See, that's so funny. See how the left and the right will sit there and poke fun and talk about the other one, all while they're doing the same thing that they're accusing the other gang of doing? Oh, you're condescending and do that. Aren't you doing that too, sir? Like, we need your help. If you're going to help us in the places we want help in, but you won't. You'll help in an area that we don't need help, don't want help, and you'll say you're helping when we don't want your help there at all. Then we'll ask for your help, and you'll say, oh, I can't do that. So we don't need your help. We understand, and we have come to live with and relish, in fact, in the fact that we have no friends. We will accept associates, but your association comes with baggage. It comes with tricks. It comes with ties. It comes with quid pro quos. And then as soon as we ask for something in return, that's racist. That's race-based. That's different. That's it. Right? But you say you know what we need, though. At this point, I wouldn't be entirely surprised if during her concession speech, one of the Trump kids comes on stage and pulls off a mask of Kamala Harris, Scooby-Doo style. Oh, I just did the Scooby-Doo. I swear to you, I didn't know they were going to just do the Scooby-Doo. I told y'all I don't read the articles first. I don't do that. So I had no idea to expect that. But that's what this feels like. No. He's trying to say just on one. No, both of them feel like this. Revealing millennia underneath. I can't believe you guys didn't figure it out, she'll say. Even with all the shifting accents and picking this Tim doofus. Anyways, we can play the long game too, and I got away with it, even with you meddling kids. So long, suckers. It's either that or the progressives around Harris are as dumb as they seem without any intervention from the mystery machine, folks. I'm going to have to go with that one as being the generative force behind this preposterous opportunity agenda to get baked. Look, as a white guy, I can't say I have firsthand experience in what gets the brothers again in the quotes, out to the polls for your candidate when she's weak. I don't think telling them that they can be legal drug pushers in the name of racial equality is going to do it. However, call it a hunch. Oh my gosh. Everybody knows what we seem to need. Everybody. But we'll tell you what we need and what we want, and you won't do that. So please stop. We don't need it. What did we learn here today, boys and girls? White supremacy always thinks they know what's good for everyone. For everyone. Even when they know they have absolutely no clue. And they always try to play both sides. Don't forget, But I'm not going to hold you. I'm just going to mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Going to leave you with 4 words as we always do around this time. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, and share if you care, if you dare to get Black empowerment everywhere. We're on all the platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Come and take a look. You might get hooked. Don't get shook by the imposter Keep It P podcast that's out there. Y'all, who you voting for? Put it in the comments. I'm not doing no Kamala Harris, and I'm also not doing Donald J. Trump. I'm sitting on the couch. I'm drinking my lemonade, chilling in the shade. That's what I'm doing, y'all. D's Nuts 2024, Couch 2024. I'm not saying I won't vote for the underling joints, but this presidential joint, I'll be writing in reparations. Cut the check. That's it. That's all. Love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I gotta go high for show high. You already know how. Big Brother Light Bright Supreme Almighty signing off.